African Development Bank has been working on a massive project to drastically improve transport in the country's capital, Abidjan. Now, the aim is to transform the city's infrastructure as well as facilitate economic activities. Well, CGTN's Peninah Karibe caught up with Marie Laure Akin-Olugbade from the African Development Bank to find out whether the transport project, estimated to have cost just over $860 million, is on track to meet its 2021 deadline.
Today we expect that the deadline will be met, and maybe with even some good prospect that this bridge could be delivered ahead of time.
What is the expected impact of this project once it's complete?
We think that this is a bridge that is going to significantly enhance all the urban function in Abidjan, but it will also, of course, significantly reduce the congestion. During the processing of the project, our teams estimated that the annual cost of lack of efficiency in the public transport system could cost about 5% of the GDP to the country. So we believe that with this type of infrastructure, once completed, we will have a significant reduction in this cost. The project is really meant to link up the west side of the city of Abidjan, and we are linking this western part to the eastern part, which is the direction basically to Ghana and Burkina Faso. So this whole corridor also has also a regional dimension, in the sense that we are going to be able to transport goods from the port of Abidjan all the way to the hinterland countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. We also see a lot of impacts in terms of the environment, and for that we have actually partnered with the Green Environment Fund, who is providing some financing to this project, about $7 or $8 million, because they are particularly interested in the reduction of greenhouse emission, of course. And here in this project, we have calculated that we are maybe probably about 1 million tons that could be saved on an annual basis.
Are there any other projects you're focusing on outside of Abidjan?
In Cote d'Ivoire, we have a portfolio of about $2.2 billion in total. This is a portfolio that has significantly grown in the last 3-4 years. It has been multiplied by, I think, between 2013 and 2018, this portfolio has been multiplied actually by 8. And in this portfolio, we do a lot of transport infrastructure, but not just actually roads, but also we are now investing, and we are looking at, for example, airline industry, which is another mode of transport that is critically needed in West Africa. And this is about 50%. 50% of all that we do in Cote d'Ivoire is around the transport infrastructure development. And then about 25% is energy, and here we are working both in terms of generation, but also in connection, distribution. And then the third, but not the least, and this is an area that is growing. I must say that 3-4 years ago, agriculture was not such a big area of emphasis for us in Cote d'Ivoire. And we are now investing big in the agriculture sector, and really through what we call the spatial agro-industrial processing zone. So we are really exploring this idea and actually already implementing it in a number of areas.
Infrastructure development is one of the key focus areas for the bank, and we've seen China as well champion the Belt and Road Initiative, a big deal here in the African continent. How does the bank work with China in regards to infrastructure development?
The bank has a very good relationship with China. As you know, China is a shareholder of the bank, and is also a major donor of the African Development Fund. So this is a relationship, and we have a very strong support actually from China. And this support is not only in terms of being members of both the African Development Bank and the fund, but also by the provision of a $2 billion facility, which is called the Africa Growing Together Fund, which is a facility that basically the bank administers on behalf of China and in co-financing projects that have been identified by the bank.